All right, I'm going to walk you through signing up for Virtual Staff Finder today. So Virtual Staff Finder is a company run by Chris Ducker out of the Philippines. And Chris Ducker, in case you haven't read his book, Virtual Freedom, he's written the Bible on how to hire and train and manage virtual assistants. It's the best book I've read by far on this whole matter of virtual assistants. So because of that book and because I've listened to a lot of Chris Ducker speaking and read his articles over the years, I felt like I want to try out his company. I want to see how this goes, hiring a VA through him. So here I am. I'm not friends with Chris Ducker. I don't think I've ever spoken to him directly by email or any other way. And so I'm not getting any sort of special treatment here or anything. I'm just signing up like any other normal person through his website. And we're going to see how this goes and what the process is like. So you're watching the screen there with me. So I'm just on his homepage. And I'm going to click here on Get Started. You're also going to be able to witness how slow Chinese internet can be because I'm in Shenzhen, China. So, okay. So to start out with Virtual Staff Finder, you pay $495 US to get started, and then they guide you through the process of picking out a virtual assistant. So you have to start out with 500 bucks basically, which is kind of a high hurdle for a lot of people because they just take you to this page and say, hey, we're going to help you find somebody, pay us 500 bucks. And you're kind of like, well, how much is the person going to cost, or what's going to happen now? What's the process like? And they don't really tell you anything here. I guess you can go into the FAQs and you can look more, but just right here in the buy process, they just take you to this page and say, hey, buy now, 500 bucks. So I'm going to do it because I've read Chris's books and trust that this is going to be a good process. So, all right, contact information. So Joshua Stymley, here's my email address. Feel free to email me anytime. And let's get started here. Got a testimonial there from Pat Flynn, who's also a great marketer. All right. Now let's see, PayPal. Let's see. I don't know if I have a PayPal account set up for my LLC that I run all this stuff through. So this is not going through MWI, my agency. This is going through Influence Global, which is, looks like I do. Great. Okay, so I can pay directly from there. And hopefully this all works. Because if it doesn't, then you're going to get a recording of me entering in my credit card information. All right, it appears to have worked. So let's see. Welcome to the Virtual Staff Finder family. Please read this page very carefully. Your service cannot start without doing so. Well, I will read this more carefully than I have ever read any credit card statement with fine print. So let's see. Submit your job description. Click here to download the job description template. State all of the type of work your virtual employee will be performing for you on a day-to-day basis. Please do not omit any fields requesting info and make this as in-depth as possible. Once completed, send it directly to start@Virtual Staff Finder. We must have this back from you before we can begin our service. All right, let's just download this right now. By the way, I hate Microsoft Word. And I don't use the word hate lightly, but I hate Microsoft Word. I love Google Docs, absolutely love Google Docs, but Microsoft Word and all that stuff drives me crazy. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. So we've got Virtual Staff Finder, renew Office 365. I have an expired Office 365 subscription. Oh well, hopefully I can still use this. Otherwise, I'll upload it to Google Docs and use it there. Okay, please insert your best email address. Okay. Oh, it's not going to let me even edit this because I have to renew my subscription. Let's see. Yeah, I hate Microsoft Office. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Let's upload this really quick to Google Docs maybe. Let's see how this goes. And hopefully there's nothing embarrassing in here in my Google Docs folder. Yeah, it looks all good. All right. Okay, let's upload this file. What was the name of it? Yep, there we go. Template. Let's see if this works. Okay, so I'm uploading the Word doc to Google Docs. And by the way, the kind of virtual assistant I'm looking for is a general virtual assistant. So I'm not looking for any sort of specialty. I'm looking for somebody who can take care of general stuff. And in his book, Virtual Freedom, this is what Chris recommends. He recommends that your first VA be a general VA, or a GVA, as he calls them. So, all right, I've got this in Google Docs now, so let's start editing this. So I'm going to put in my email address, Skype ID. Don't connect with me there. I only get on Skype when I have a scheduled call. And if I don't know you, I will not accept your connection. Twitter ID, @JoshStimley. All right, there we go. There's that. Please list down how you discovered our service. And I'm going to say Chris Ducker's book. Business name. Okay, Influence Global. And if I'm going to be giving my GVA a specific title, please insert it here. No, I'm not sure what to call her or him. So, let's see, part-time, full-time. I want full-time. Time zone. Okay, and I'll just say it's Philippines time because I'm in China, same time zone, so that works great for me. Actually, you know what? Or any other time. I really don't care. Doesn't matter. That gives me some more flexibility. Maybe there's somebody who likes to work at night, so it really doesn't matter to me. In fact, I think I'll say I'm based in China, but they can work while I'm sleeping or whatever. All right. Actually, you know what? No. I should just put a Philippines time. I think at the beginning I do want to work with somebody who's awake when I'm awake. So scratch that. Okay, Philippines time. Daily reporting and accountability. In order for any virtual position to be compensated without miscommunication, we suggest that a daily report be submitted by the VA at the end of each day worked. Yes, I do require this. Yes, daily by email. Might include data in Google Sheet. Okay. The amount you are willing to pay your GVA, I'm going to say 500 to 1,000 USD. But I could be sold on more if necessary for high quality. Okay. Daily work description, a concise narrative of the role and responsibilities of our GVA. So here I'm going to pause it and fill this out, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what I put in. All right, we're back. So I ended up changing that working time zone again to be flexible. Yeah, because I do actually love having people review my emails and fix things while I'm sleeping. So with the time zone thing, I'm flexible on that. Daily reporting and accountability, yes, daily by email, might include data in a Google Sheet. The amount I'm willing to pay 500 to 1,000 US dollars per month. I guess I should specify per month. But I'm happy to pay more if I can be sold on higher quality. So daily work description, concise narrative of the role and responsibilities of our GVA. So help hire other specialized VAs, because I foresee that I'm going to need VAs for SEO, social media, marketing, content, copywriting. There are a lot of other things that I could be outsourcing that I'd love to outsource if I could find the right people. Basic internet research, ordering products on Amazon to be sent to me or other, researching flights. This one alone, in the past few months, I don't do a lot of traveling like some people. I mean, there's some people who do 30, 40, 50 speaking engagements a year. I'm not doing anything close to that. But every time I have to book a flight, it seems like it takes 5, 6, 7 hours. A few weeks ago, I think I spent about 12 hours researching flights and trying to figure out exactly how I was going to do a trip. That just takes me so much time, and that's the type of thing that I really want to outsource to a VA. So flight options, basic updates on WordPress websites, review Gmail for items that might have been missed, remind me of important emails I should respond to ASAP, manage LinkedIn groups, manage LinkedIn connection requests, stock photo searching. This is another one. It's so easy to spend an hour searching for the right stock photo for something. I'd love to have somebody else who can do that for me and bring me back a few options. Send invoices using Xero. This is another thing. I had an invoice, somebody wanted to give me money, and I had an invoice that I needed to send out. Only takes me 10 minutes to set the person up in the system, get it sent out. Took me 2 months to get that invoice sent out. And there's just money sitting there that I could have had in my bank account. Wasn't in my bank account because I was just so busy, overloaded, that I didn't even have time to take 10 minutes to send them an invoice. So finally I got that sent out the other day. That was kind of part of the kicker for this, where I was like, if this is really keeping me from getting money like that, I need a VA just to send out invoices. Confirm appointments with Google Calendar. And then it asks for these skill sets required. So give a concise narrative of the role and responsibilities of your GVA. So I said most important skills: organization, communication, and interpersonal skills. And the reason I'm choosing these is organization. If I'm sending this person tasks to be done and they're doing them, or they're forgetting about them, they're missing stuff, they only get 90% of what I send them and they just miss 10%, that's unacceptable. It's got to be at least 99%. If they miss 1 out of 100 things, I can live with that. But if they're missing 1 out of 10 things, I can't live with that. Then I can't trust them. Every time I pass something off, I'm going to be hesitant and say, oh, I don't know, I hope this gets done. I can't be living like that. I need a high level of organization. Or dependability, you could call it. Communication. I need somebody who knows how to communicate well. So one of the things I tell my team is always be the last one on any email thread. So if you're communicating with somebody, you always be the last one to send an email, even if you feel a little bit goofy doing it, because you're just sending an email saying, got it, or thanks, or whatever. But I always say be the last person on that email thread. Make sure it's in the other person's court and that there's no chance that they're wondering if you got the last email that they sent to you. Interpersonal skills. This is mostly confidence and just being able to talk well like a normal person, because I need a VA. I need a VA who can approach me when they have a question and feel comfortable coming to me. I want them to have the confidence to say, hey, if I go to Josh and I ask him questions, he's not going to be mad. He's not going to be disappointed that I don't already know the answer. I want a VA who can come to me and say, hey, you're doing this the wrong way. And they know that my response is going to be, okay, tell me what the right way is. You got a better way? Tell me. Awesome. Great. I just want to do it the best way. Or if they have a question, they can just say, hey, I have no idea how to do this. Like, you hired me. I know I should know how to do this, but I have no clue what you're talking about. And I'll say, oh, okay, great. Well, let me tell you how to do it. So I don't get mad about anything. I never get mad. I don't get angry. I get frustrated sometimes, but I don't get mad. And I think I'm a pretty reasonable guy. I want a VA who understands this and who's confident. Actually, I want a VA who doesn't care if I'm reasonable. I want a VA who's just confident enough to come to me and tell me what they think. And I want them to be reasonable, like I think I'm reasonable, but I want them to be confident and bring up stuff. And they'll know that I appreciate that. But I don't really want them to care whether I appreciate it or not. I just want them to do it regardless. So Gmail, I need a quasi expert on Gmail because that's where I live. That's my life, is in Gmail. Google Docs is probably the second place I spend the most time because I do a lot of writing and I use Google Docs. WordPress is another big one because if I had somebody to just help out with some basic stuff on WordPress, it'd be huge. Google Calendar, really important for me. It's how I manage my life. Xero accounting software, sending invoices, general management. Now this one, I wouldn't have thought of this except for the book Virtual Freedom, but in there he talks about hiring a GVA who can help you to hire other VAs who are specialized. So that's a big deal for me now after reading the book because I want to hire all these other VAs. I want a VA who can help me do that and manage those other VAs. I mean, if I could just talk to most of the time one person or maybe copy other people, but I had one person who was kind of a project manager or an account manager and made sure that stuff was getting done, even if they're not doing it, but they're just following up with the SEO guy, they're following up with the social media gal, they're following up with the content marketer, the copywriter. If they're just following up and tracking tasks, that'd be awesome. That'd be so great. So, and then additional notes, I just said, hey, I've read Virtual Freedom twice, and I've hired VAs before the wrong way, and this is the first time I'm hiring somebody full-time. This is the first time I'm hiring a GVA, and I mostly just need somebody who can get basic stuff done online. So, all right, I'm going to email this to start@virtualstafffinder.com. I'll pause this, and then I'll come back in just a second. Okay, so I just sent that email off to Virtual Staff Finder with the doc that they sent me, filled it out, sent it off to them. By the way, this screen here, this is a spreadsheet showing, this is something I came up with, looks like maybe a year or two ago. And I just created a list of stuff that I felt like I could outsource to people. I highly recommend you go through this exercise. And I just listed all sorts of detailed stuff. Respond to this type of email, update my website here. So I've got 47 things here. And then I estimated the hours per month somebody could spend on this. And it came up to 134. Now, I think I could expand this list quite a bit. This is just a beginning list, but highly recommend that you come up with this type of list and just start listing out everything that you could offload to somebody else or outsource. And I was able to come up with pretty easily 134 hours worth of stuff. What I wouldn't give to have an extra 134 hours a month. That's where I'm hoping this goes. So hopefully my expectations aren't too crazy high. Let's get back to Virtual Staff Finder. So I just finished step number 1. Step number 2, our sourcing and testing process begins. This is the longest part of the process. Don't worry, it doesn't require your input. Based on your job description, we search our database for initial candidates. We then perform telephone interviews with them. If they pass our criteria, they then sit through aptitude and personality tests, along with another couple of online exams. Following this, we randomly check up on past employers and might call them for a second interview to double check experience level, etc. This part of the process takes 7 to 14 business days, excluding weekends and holiday, from the date we receive your job description. Nah, it's okay. I mean, that's reality, right? I want them to go through a good process, so if this is going to take a bunch of time, that's okay. I can handle it. I've been waiting for years for this. I can wait another 2 weeks. Step number 3, your interview and hiring decision, the final step in the process. You interview the top 3 candidates that we present to you and finally pick your virtual staff member. And it says, be sure to hire the one you like the most quickly to avoid them being hired by someone else. Quick but important message on paying your new VA. We do not recommend that you give advanced salaries or any other form of monetary advances, commissions, bonuses, etc. to your VA. In the Philippines, it is normal to pay staff on the 15th and 30th of each month, so we suggest you follow this setup too. Almost all VAs in the Philippines are happy to get paid via PayPal, but we suggest you be a cool boss and handle the fees. Virtual Staff Finder does not mediate nor help settle any problems arising from ignoring the message above. Please keep this in mind. All right, that's it. So now I wait to hear back, but now you've got an introduction to how the process with Virtual Staff Finder starts, and I'll let you know once I get word back and start looking at profiles or something like that. And I'll be back too to talk about the process with the other job search or candidate search company that I'm working with. All right, see ya.